So what can we do to include moksha and spiritual liberation within our occult practice? This is some of the things that I have included in my own personal practices, as well as the practices I teach and am writing about. But I think this is one of the things that you can do if you are in an occult practice, whether you're, a pagan, or you're practicing some form of witchcraft, elemental magic, or some indigenous ancestral practice. Number one, you want to ask, is your practice helping you to perceive more about yourself and the world around you? You need an expansion of perception. And with that, you need an attitude of knowing that you don't know everything and that you are here to learn. If you are not adopting a spirit of like, you are here to learn, to discover the unknown, and if that isn't your attitude, then you probably are not growing your perception or your spiritual sight. So that's one of the most important things, I think, in developing your occult practice and making sure that it's bringing moksha into your life. Number two is, are you focused on controlling other people or events around you, or are you focused on transforming the self? So if the majority of your spells and rituals are about transforming those people around you, you are most likely not doing moksha. You want to turn that, make all of your spells to be about you. So you can do spells to make yourself more courageous, to grow in responsibility, to grow in emotional intelligence. You can do every spell that you have ever done on another person because you were afraid they were doing something. You can do that to you. So let's say somebody is slandering you, and your first instinct is, I'm gonna bind that person. That's not really a moksha point of view. You want to pull it back and like, okay, well, how do I feel as a person? I feel small. I feel unheard. I feel like I have no friends. And so you can do a charisma spell on you to bolster the way that you connect with people, to make the right connections, to be courageous when you interact with others, to be to have a lot of self-love so you can love yourself despite other people in your community hating you. Then you don't even have to have a karmic entanglement by casting a spell on another individual. And I'll go into that later about karmic entanglements, because spell work can indeed cause that, and I don't recommend it. But moving that focus of others onto yourself is one of the first ways that you can kind of move your occult practice into moksha. Another way is for you to have a greater holistic sense and connection to your body. So often we care more about like how other people perceive us, how we get money, and we don't focus on our own health and well-being. And so focusing on rituals that connect us to our body, to balance our body, to heal our body, is also going to heal our mind as well as heal our trauma responses. When our nervous system is aligned and running smoothly, we have a tendency not to get into a lot of dramatic fights because we no longer desire that. Often, people who are extremely ill have a lot of drama because the illness is affecting their mind. So, removing that propensity for drama and trauma in the life means finding ways to practice holistic, healthy practices for the body, focusing on strengthening your bones with, let's say, elementals of calcium. If you are having issues with weakness, working with earth spirits to help you strengthen yourself, working with air spirits to boost your lung capacity, working with fire spirits to give you more energy and drive to get out and exercise. These are all many different types of spells that you can use to heal and fortify your body and to make sure that you're appropriately nourished and well. Another way that you can also utilize moksha is through increasing your capacity for empathy. Empathy means that you can understand what other beings have gone through. So increasing your capacity of empathy towards your ancestors, towards the gods themselves, towards the elements and the animals of the land. This is going to help you walk more in alignment with nature. You can actually do rituals to the planets and the stars to empathize with their energies and to be in sync with their energies more and more. And so in that, you are aligning not only your mind, but your body with the planetary forces. So your whole physical being is becoming a planetary force, much like the planets. Like, you will actually enact change on the people around you. So these are just some of the ways in which you can take your practice into moksha, increasing your perception, increasing your empathy, removing the tendency to try to affect external reality and work on internal self, and reclaiming your physical health and physical well-being. If you focus on those 4 things, you will actually transform yourself with your occult practice. Now, here is one of the problems, and I'm commenting based upon the previous video where I talked about the issue with Christianity and how they attacked paganism because Christianity saw itself as a religion of moksha, in like a liberation religion. Well, one of the things that Christianity is also blind to is that it is actually an occult religion as well. Christianity has just as many spells as pagans do. They just don't want to see it that way. They utilize different technologies through summoning spirits, through singing their names and praying. They also have all manners of different types of ritual structures. But unfortunately, because Christians have a very strong marketing campaign, they don't see their rituals and their masses and their congregations and their services. They don't see it as a ritual. They think that what pagans are doing is dark and evil. The thing is, pagans aren't doing dark and evil. Dark and evil is the way you approach spiritual technology. And the occult is simply technology. When you tell a story, you are giving somebody a type of metaphysical technology to their mind. When you are singing the name of a god, whether it is Odin, Thor, Jesus, Vishnu, Krishna, whatever you say out of your mouth, when you are speaking their name, you are calling upon the energy structure of that being. And when you call upon the energy structure, if you are in a state of ecstatic wonder and openness, you will align your energies to that being. And it's simply a technology that we are using. So the occult isn't evil, it's how people use it. And I think asking these questions and talking about them in our pagan circles, are we utilizing our spells for the betterment of our own bodies, for the betterment of our community, for the earth itself, or are we doing this selfishly? And those are the things that we need to ask. And I think the more we ask these questions and talk about them, I think the less there will be a fight against the occult versus religion, because the occult can be just as powerful for moksha as religion can. So I hope some of that helps some of you about some of the division between the occult and the religion issues.